Hope you've had a great week wherever you and your travels may have taken you around the globe today. Going to make some pivots in our travel weather forecast here to keep these videos much shorter and just hit some of the more adverse weather conditions. As a result, I'm pushing out in shorts on YouTube and also a short little movie on X individually in your evenings for Caribbean, Mediterranean, Southeast Alaska, and that sort of thing. So that way it breaks up these forecasts a little bit more to your region and hopefully keeps these videos a little shorter so they're not 14 minutes long. So let's dive into travel weather forecast for your Friday, October 17th, 2025. First thing I'm going to start off with is Bermuda, not necessarily the Caribbean, but since you're out there all by your lonesome, want to talk about one thing, and that is going to be some elevated swell that's coming in on Friday. It's already elevated Thursday, but we do see a higher push. This could make things a little rough for us around Bermuda and Hamilton getting into the ports. Now you can see around the island that drops off significantly. The naval shipyard is up here on this part of the island, where Hamilton, you come down in this area or cross the bay, depending on how you want to get there. Airport's up on the north end. But the swell, once you get outside of the island, you can see it quickly rises up 10 feet offshore, 15 feet. Now, we won't see the 20-foot waves, but take a look at that, 24, 25 feet out there north of Bermuda by quite a ways, but that's the kind of swell that's going to be pushing down those 10 to 15 feet just on the coastlines there. So that's one thing that I'm keeping an eye on. I want to take you out on the extended forecast. This is just, again, when we're talking tropical weather, super long range like this, I have little to zero confidence in a storm developing, but I do want to continue to update you on this. For next week, the European model is depicting a developing storm in the Caribbean as a hurricane, so you can see about 1 week's time. So that I'm paying attention to, because that's not 15, 18 days down the road. This, week out has a little bit more of my attention. The American, though, is way over here in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. So while we have the models making the storm, they're doing one of these. They're not in agreement. So I think, again, we continue to say mark this as we get into the last week of October for a possible developing system. The American is out here in the far eastern Caribbean, crosses Puerto Rico, and then goes into the Atlantic. The European, though, is a little more interesting and much farther west. It's a weak system passing south of Jamaica on the 23rd and getting its act together just east of Belize as we get into Sunday the 26th, and then it starts to slide northeast as we get into the 28th, 29th. So again, when we get this far out, almost zero confidence in it, but the fact that both our global models, the European and the American, are painting that, I think we are likely going to have something, but we don't know the strength and we don't know the location, which doesn't help you a lot right now, but that's okay. I will continue to update you on that in the days ahead. So that essentially are the two things I wanted to highlight. Otherwise, there are some elevated storm chances, which you can see on my short for the Caribbean, mainly in the eastern areas, but still 40% coverage, for example, Costa Maya, both early morning and late day. But be sure and check those out. And of course, I'll see you tomorrow with a fresh take on what we're watching in the forecast here. And in the meantime, safe travels and hope you have a great Friday.